Hi friends, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch. It's nice to see you, and we're also here with Otis. I just thought it would be fun to talk about catnip and to give Otis some catnip this morning while we were live together for a couple of reasons, but really just to see how funny it is, because he's such a funny, happy boy. And this is a lot of catnip. A lot. So I don't let him have too much, but I do let him try and get the jar open sometimes, and he'll pry it off. But let's just see what Hims does. Oh, there you go. Get out of the jar. So some cats will eat it. If a cat eats the catnip, they'll get sleepy. And if they choose to roll in it, they'll get all high and hyper. That's kind of how that works. Okay, that's plenty good. Good job. So he's got a big pile. He might have like, I don't know, 2 grams there or something. And Otis usually tries to eat it. My other kitties, they would just like, Rosebud, she rolls around in it. Chloe would roll around in it. Jack would eat it. And Zynga would do both. So yeah, Otis is going to get sleepy because he's decided to just eat it. But in a minute, we'll come back and we'll see what he's up to. But I wanted to come on and say hi to you guys. It's been far too long. Nice to see you. Hopefully there's not too much mess back there. Alright, hello. So who's here? Bone Whisper Hex, it's so nice to see you. Good morning. Bye Panda Queen. Hello and good morning. Love to you as well. Hey, glad I caught you live. KDR, it's nice to see you. So as you guys can tell lately, I've just not been in the vibe to do witchcraft videos. I've been in the vibe to like show you more of the other parts of my life, which is fine because I did, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of witchcraft videos. Don't think that I'm done with them. Just know that I'm in a transition and the channel may be changing a bit, but it's not going to change from being witchcraft, yeah? So that being said, I am really happy and glad for everybody that's been sticking around, but also knowing that there's going to be a new group of people that come in, and then some people that leave, and that's okay, because I need to keep my artistic creativity mine, and for a little while, I was feeling like the channel wasn't mine. So, like, not that anyone else was controlling me, but that, like, it was, you know, just something that, I wasn't having as much fun as the start. I guess that's the point of what I'm trying to say. So, I'm back into having as much fun as the start. I'm really trying to heal from this depression, and anxiety, and it's working pretty well. I found a wicked herb that's been helping. And I would be willing to talk about that privately with folks if they wanted to know what it was. Joyce Jordan's here. Good morning, Joyce. How are you? I was just about to put on my bracelets that I love so well that you gave me. Thank you so much. That sandalwood necklace I use as a bracelet. Yes, whatever you have to do, Jen, we enjoy seeing you grow and change and evolve. Yeah, that's good. Thank you for saying that, Katie, because I really do need to hear that from more people in the channel. So if you watch this video later, when I'm not live or whatever, please comment below about how you feel like the channel is evolving and stuff, because it's really starting to, well, it was starting to stress me out. I'm not stressed out anymore, you know, about that. But I'm really, really happy with how things are going, and my room is slowly filling up with murals, and everything's just been like a really happy time for me. Thank you, Bone Whisper. Yeah, definitely that healing strength that everybody's been sending me. I've been feeling it, and it's been healing me for sure. I do have something that I wanted to come on live and do with you guys, and I might as well do it now because we've got a few people here. I posted last night that we were going to put on... he licked up every drop of that catnip, by the way. I posted yesterday that I was going to go on and... get into my chicken's feet and look at the bucket, because it's been, I think about 3 months since we did the chicken's feet in the salt. So I've never ever cured them in salt before. I've only done it in my dehydrators. Now, The dehydrators work amazing. Like the chicken's feet, let me show you how they come out through the dehydrator. But I've never done them just like in a salt bath, and I got this idea like, well, I knew that you can cure things in salt, but I really got inspired by Earthly Taurus's chicken's feet, and I'm waiting to hear back from you. Check my Skype message. I need to know how long they take to cure. So when they're in the dehydrator, they come out and they look like this, and you can shape them however you like them to be shaped. This one I just kind of laid flat. But you know, you can paint them up and make them like evil eye type stuff. You can do lots of stuff with them, but I'm excited to see how here's just a paw with no leg on it, or foot. Interested to see how they'll turn out of the salt. So this is what they look, well, obviously these are painted, right? But this is what they look like from the dehydrator. The reason I want to do them in salt rather than the dehydrator is because I feel like, well, okay, chicken's feet for me take like a week in the dehydrator, sometimes longer. And the smell that comes from it, it makes your whole area, like your whole home, smell like a pet store. Like, you know, like a dog treat. Not the, you know, like animal part dog treats, so like pig's ears and cow hooves and bones and stuff. So when you do these in your dehydrator, your whole place smells like a pet store, but particularly a dog treat. And I'm not a fan of that because I have a hard enough time getting my appetite to be around. And so if my whole flippin' house smells like dog treats, like I'm, you know, not wanting to be a part of it. So I thought, I'll try the salt method. Yeah. Yeah, really kind of funky, Michelle. Like, I can't really, like, it doesn't stink, but it doesn't make your house smell good. And you can't burn potpourri to, like, cover it up. That's the other thing. I've tried, like, boils and all kinds of things. Incenses, I mean, nothing covers it up. So, it's a really prominent smell. Here, well, I showed some of it on YouTube and some of it on my Patreon. On YouTube, I showed me, like, washing the feet and all the chicken's feet and washing them with Rose of Jericho water. Rose of Jericho water resurrects, it's the resurrection plant. So the water of the Rose of Jericho is, I added it to the chicken's feet to resurrect the spirit of the animal. Now, I got many comments after that. Those chickens were probably so sad. Why would you want to resurrect their spirit? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Everybody has their own opinions, and this is something I've been doing for a long time, and it works for me. If you intuitively feel like that, then it's not going to work for you, right? But if you feel like, this is a good idea, let's give it a go. Also, I've done this more than once, not in the salt, but with the Rose of Jericho water. And for me, it works. You know, for me, it works well. And everybody who's received my chicken's feet from, like, either a gift or Etsy or whatever, has had nothing but good vibes from them. So, I guess, you know, it's like, to each your own, whatever. Love and light, you know. But, for me, it's yeah, a little bit different. So, if anybody wants to comment anything, they can. But that's how I feel about that. So, anyway, Rose Jericho water on the feet, cleaned all the feet off, and then did layers in my bucket. Yeah, and then salt will help purify, absolutely. But I don't know how long they'll take. So, right now I'm going to get the bucket. It's behind the camera. I'm going to pull it around. It weighs about 75 pounds because it's got, I don't know, 40 pounds of salt and 30 pounds of chicken's feet in it. And then some herbs. So, on YouTube, I showed how to wash and clean them, and then I talked about how to prepare them. On Patreon, I showed the actual working with the herbs and the candles and the salt and everything else, okay? So, if you guys are on Patreon and you missed that video, go back and check that out because it's in between what we're doing. Okay, it's crazy hot in here. let me get my gloves and because I don't know the state of the chicken's feet. If they're like this, it doesn't really matter if I touch them, but remember, well, not remember, but I don't know. Like, chicken, if you cook it, you have to bring it to 165 in order for bacteria to be killed, or 170, I don't know, something like high. So I'm going to be extra careful with that. So let me get those things set up, and I'm going to tip you down so that you can kind of see the setup start to happen. Otis loves chicken's feet, but he doesn't mess them up, which is great. But for those of you who do purchase my chicken's feet, please know, if you have dogs or cats, they will try to mess them up. There you go, buddy. And it's dangerous because if they, like, you know, if they get a toe off, they could easily choke on it. They're so sharp. They're so sharp. Alright, let me get a glove. A glove. Yay! And a glove. Wicked. Okay. If I had a cloth glove, I would use it, but I only have a blue rubber glove, so that'll work. Okay. Alright, so on top of the bucket of salt is the remnants of the working that I did, including the candle that I burned on top of the salt. If you guys are trying to burn, like, salt can be used for so many cool things in our craft, besides all the things that we always think about. And let me talk about that really quickly. So, let's say you want to burn a coal disc, but you don't have a sensor. Get a bowl that's not plastic, so either glass or earthenware or, you know, ceramic, clay, whatever, and get your coal discs, and you can set the coal disc right on the salt, and it will burn just fine there. It's safe, all of that. So don't forget about salt and how great that is. And, you know, there's a lot of amazing things that you can do with salt to purify, but I was just talking with my closest friend last night, and I think we were talking last night about salt. It might have been the night before. And he was like, well, I don't know, is salt good or is it bad in magic? And I feel, and from what I've read, it's good in small amounts, but in big amounts it's counteractive. So I would love to hear what you guys know about too much salt and magical workings, so that we can all get a better idea of that and how that works for everybody else, like either through practice or otherwise. So I'm going to roll up my sleeves, and then we'll get into this bucket and see what's going on in there. Okay, and then when you put your hand into a bucket of salt with chicken's feet, you need to remember that if they are in fact done and dry, that these are very sharp. So if you have a little plastic glove like this, or a rubber glove, excuse me, it's not going to protect you from being punctured. Punctured. Otis, get your bow. So now that he's eaten that catnip, it's going to take maybe like half an hour, and then he's going to be asleep for a while. But right now, he's playing with his ball. It's the cutest thing ever. Alright, so here we are. I'm going to move the herbs from the actual spell working out of the way. Here's William, my mandrake root. A big piece of him was with this. I'm excited to see what they look like too, Katie. I know I've been gibbering for a while, but I'm trying to stay on live so that I can talk to some folks who I haven't talked to in a long time. Alright, so that was cinnamon, wormwood, mandrake root, European mandrake root, and a white candle. It was pretty simple, you know. Wormwood is great for spirit communication, and since I used the Rose of Jericho water to resurrect the chicken spirit, I wanted to use the wormwood for spirit communication. which I grew myself. Well, Alex grew it, but I have it now and it's growing here, so I'm tending to it now. Gotta be proud of something. Okay, here we go. Hey! They're definitely not done. I might put them in the dehydrator, to be honest, because I'm like almost out of chicken's feet. They're soft. They're completely soft. They're not at all dry. I don't know what to say about them. They don't smell. Stop it, bud! Don't do that. Stop that. They don't smell or anything like that. But Earthly Taurus, if you watch this video, let me know how long your chicken's feet and salt took, because this feels like it's taking way too long. For me. So, if nothing else, even if I go and I put these chicken's feet, I think I've got 60 in here. Even if I now at this point take these chicken's feet and do them in the dehydrator, that doesn't diminish the working that we did here for 3 months. And I always like to do my chicken's feet over Samhain, like every year. This batch was from Samhain last year. I don't have any from the batch from before. But I do them a couple of times a year, but I keep my Samhain's chicken's feet separate. Yeah, so, I mean, I'll try and dig out another one just to see, but I'm pretty sure they're all at the same. See, and then it depends on how you put them in. This one will come out and be this shape. You can put them in a bird, you can put them in this shape, any shape that you're, but just remember that chickens only have 4 toes. So if you do like this, it's just you pull down the middle one, leave up the end 2, and pull in the thumb, like this. Now, in the dehydrator, it's much easier to get these types of shapes because you can use string or wire to keep them in that shape, and especially if you do ones like this for people's cars, which are awesome. I love doing those. And that's like an evil eye ward in your car when you have the bird, and it's like so you don't have to give it. Lady Moonflower's here, welcome. She said, should be 3 days on the salt, but you can also put some salt with your chicken's feet in the oven and bake them on a slow temperature. Just put in your diet. Yeah, so it's been 3 weeks and nothing's happened. I mean, well, something's happening. Like, they're stiffened, absolutely, but they're still really pliable and soft. They're moving, and we need to get them rock hard. So I think at this point, you're right, Lady Moonflower. And if somebody out there didn't have a dehydrator, like Lady Moonflower said, a low oven would be wonderful. I don't know how low your oven can go, but you just don't want to really cook them. For me, I feel it's better to dehydrate them because then they're not like oily and greasy afterwards. Chinese make like a chicken foot delicacy. There's a lot of things that people do with chicken's feet other than throw them away or witchcraft. The big thing though is, you guys, I've looked up ratios, and it's like only 3% of chicken's feet are ever used. So 3%. Otherwise they're just thrown away, thrown into the ground. That makes me a little bit sad. So, to the person who was so upset at me for, getting all these chicken's feet and thinking that that was horrible, I don't think it's wrong that you think it's horrible, but I kind of think it's wrong that you projected to me that it was horrible. So, and it's not a Taxidermy Witch family member or anything. I was just saying that, I listen to everything that you guys have to say and I take it in, but then I choose on my own. Hey Raven Song, how are you? It's so nice to see you. Let me read this real quick. Joyce says, I think it would be how salt preserves ham or bacon. Oh, so it's just like smoked. Well, yeah, but why is it wiggly? I don't know. I've only done this with a dehydrator. But that doesn't demean the working. If I go ahead and put these in the dehydrator now, it doesn't demean the working at all. I don't exactly know what to do. I should probably wash the salt off of them first, because I do paint my chicken's feet and do a lot of things with them. This one dried kind of funky. Love when they dry funky. Really funky. So yeah, that's my goal today, and it's lucky that I just got a new dehydrator, so I will get these puppies washed off and in the dehydrator, and my house will smell. Oh, I can put them in the bottom of the garage. and then I won't smell it. That's a great idea. So yeah, put them in a room and dehydrate them in a room where you're not like sleeping or living or whatever. When I had my dehydrator by the bed and I was doing garlic, I would dream about Italian food, and I would like, and then after a while, after like a couple of days, the garlic starts to smell not good, you know. But again, if you remember, garlic wards away evil, right? So that's a great thing to have going on, and that's why I kept the smell in here for so long. I did elephant garlic, which are these huge cloves. I did 3 cloves of that, and then I did like 5 or 6 whole cloves of garlic. And the smell in here, like you'd come up to the loft and it would smell like fancy Italian restaurant, you know. But that smell being protruded through here would certainly ward away any evil from coming up here. Does that make sense? That's how I feel about it, intuitively. And it would make sense with Scott Cunningham's writings. So here we are. If anybody wants to chit-chat before I get off, now's the time. Because I do have a lot to do. I'm finishing up a Big Bang Oracle deck today. And hopefully tomorrow I'm finishing up a Winnie the Pooh deck. And then I will get right into a Lassie deck. These are all Oracle decks I'm making for people. And then I have to do a couple of other Etsy orders with juniper berries and wormwood and juniper chips. And really excited about my day today. But I'm excited to chat with you guys because I've been awfully bored. Wow, that's 3% crazy sad. It's amazing how much of a food source that gets wasted in society now. Right, like, not like, let's say for instance, I just lost my train of thought, but think of how much that would, how many people that would feed. That would feed so many people. Just the chicken's feet, because there is a lot of meat on them. In the pad of the foot, there's a huge bite, and then there's nibbles around the outside. But remember, like, it's cartilage and a little bit of bone, but it's cartilage. So if you were trying to like heal and repair your teeth or things like that, cartilages, bone marrows, all that stuff is really good for repairing your teeth and bones. From what I've read in many natural, unvegan but very natural, like dental cure books, etc. Hey Drogler, nice to see you. Raven Song, don't wash, just brush them. Yeah, but if I just brush them, then they'll be all textured from the salt. I'll give it a go, but Raven Song, why should I not wash them? I'm just wondering. Like I say, I've not done this before, so I think the bucket is too deep and probably needs to be spread thin. Too much moisture in a confined space. Okay, that totally would make sense. Absolutely. Like, not enough air got to it. But actually, I only looked at the ones from the very top, so they would have had plenty of air. But maybe the salt as a whole absorbed too much. Yeah. So now, like, listen to this. We've taken the chicken, we're going to take the chicken's feet out, we're going to brush them off, we're going to put them in the dehydrator, we're going to get them going. But don't throw away the 40 pounds of salt, okay? Because you can reuse this for all kinds of things. I wouldn't reuse it for your workings because there's been raw chicken in here, but this is going to be my bucket for things that I find outside that are dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't find chicken's feet outside. I go to either the farm or the grocery store for them. But, like, oftentimes there's roadkill around here. So just the other day I found a raccoon's tail, and I didn't take it because I didn't have the proper equipment with me. I know there's going to be everybody's going to have something to say about this, right? But, and that's fine. I can take it if you don't like what I do. So normally if I like have a car and I'm a driver, if you're enjoying this video, hit the thumbs up for me. Thank you. If I have a car and I'm driving, I normally have 2 things in my back seat or my trunk, okay? I have a bag for foraging, which, thank you. I have a bag for foraging, which has like nature offerings that I make. Oh yeah, I want to show you guys my new nature offering. I really do have a lot of shish to show you guys. nature offering, a spade, a graveyard kit, Florida water, a head covering, what else is in there? And loads of paper bags. And then some, like, shears. So that when I go out and like if I'm driving around and I see something like snowberries, I'm like, and I can go over and forage. Well, every time I see something to forage, it's not long before right behind that there's something else amazing. So I usually keep like 15 paper bags or more in there at a time. And then the other thing that I keep, this is the controversial one, is I keep a backpack with like stuff for roadkill. So plastic bags, alcohol, knives in case I wanted to just like, I couldn't take the body because it was squished but the tail was there. So there's lots of people that do this. There's just probably not too many people that talk about it. But it was just the other morning, I was in Mom's car driving because I don't have a vehicle anymore, but I didn't have my kit with me, and there were 2 raccoons like within 1 mile that were just like right there on the road. And it's super sad, but it's like this. If I don't go there and take the tail or save any parts of it, then the beauty of the animal is gone from our sight forever. However, if I find roadkill and, oh yeah, you want to have gloves as well, right? If I find roadkill and there's a part of it that I can forage, I will. And then you take it in home and do the proper things. So again, this bucket of salt can be used for things like that. You can take this and have it for when something like that happens. Or my father-in-law was hunting like a year ago and he found all these little muskrats and they did whatever they do with them, and then he gave me the feet and the tails. And he gave it to me in a big bag of salt. So this is just a way that people have been taking care of things for years. I will have to probably do a little bit more research to figure out if it's going to work for all the things I would like to use it for. But we'll see. Oh right, the nature offering I wanted to show you. And then I probably should get to work. So let me show you my nature offering and tell you like what I put in it, how I made it, and all that jazzabells. Jazzabells. Okay. It's really heavy. I wish I had a boy over here to help me. Okay, that's good enough. So, I've made this beautiful offering for nature. So what's a nature offering? Like, when you go to forage your things, you go out in nature to forage your holly or your anything you take from nature. I always have like a little bag of goodies from my herb cabinet, and I will tell you what's in here and talk about it. But I always have a bag of goodies so that when I take something, I leave something, right? Nature offering. So if you're on the beach and you want to make something that's like biodegradable, organic, or if possible, whatever. You don't want to put plastic bits in it and stuff, just natural things. So anyway, what I was saying was, if you were on the beach and you were collecting seashells, and you decide to take a seashell because the beach allowed you to do that, you asked and you listened and you heard a yes, or you felt a yes, or you saw a yes, or whatever, depending on your clair, then you would want to leave a little bit of something behind. If you go to the graveyard and you, or if you take dirt from the courtyard or the bank or the graveyard or whatever, every time you take, you want to give a little bit of something. So, which is really interesting because a lot of these things were foraged and nature offerings were given during the foraging, which is cool. So let me talk about what is in here. First, I want to say that I use spoons that were made from Friends to stir my stuff in. And if you like these wooden burned spoons, this is from, Be Young on the channel, and she has an Etsy shop called Unique Juntique. And she does these radical wooden spoons. But she sent this to me as a gift. And then I have this one that my friend Allie, I don't know if she made it, but if she did, that's amazing. And it's this like dark, Otis, don't do that. Like a cherry wood maybe? I don't know, but she rubbed it with patchouli oil or something. It just like smells amazing. Or it could be teak. I don't think it's teak though. Anyway, so inside of the offering, I've got a bunch of stuff. But as I was organizing my herbs, all the herb jars that were like low or needed to be replaced, I would put it in there. So let me just dig through here and tell you what I've got, because there's a lot of stuff in here. There is lotus leaf. There is madrona leaf and madrona wood. There is magnolia leaf and magnolia wood. There are lots of citrus orange peels, and there's also pomelo, which I don't know if a lot of you have tried pomelo before, but it's a little bit, it's kind of like a light green-ish yellow, but very different to both smell and taste to like an orange, but it's big like a grapefruit. Really cool. Let me actually show you some dried pomelo if you're interested. It's just right here. Which is lucky because most things are like super far back. Alright. So I dried this pomelo a while ago, and I thought that it's really cool because you can like almost scry into it with the different pictures, and you'll see what I mean once I get it out of here. Okay, so here's what the top looked like, and as you can see, it's like a big kind of grapefruit type look. And then when I dried it in slices, which is really cool because like this slice looks like a seashell. And then some of the slices look like trees and like sunsets and stuff. So I don't know, I'm always thinking of new ways to do divination and scry and stuff like that. Remember the marbles and, you know, cloud scrying and just whatever comes to you intuitively, really. So let me get back to the nature offering, but that's a pomelo, and, you know, to be quite honest, I'm not a super fan of the taste, but I'm a super fan of the magical, using it in my magical workings. Let me keep telling you what is in this nature offering. So we have some beautiful hibiscus, lots of hibiscus. Norfolk Island Pine from my indoor Yule tree. What else is in here? I think I've said just about it. Oh, and barley. There's lots and lots of barley in here. I like to put like either rice or grains into a nature offering, but I guess rice is kind of dangerous because of birds. But basically this is it, and it's just lots of little things. Oh yeah, there's some chamomile in there too. But it's just all beautiful biodegradable things. What is that purple thing? Got lots of stuff in here. Oh, I put some dulse in here. And artichoke petals. Oh, and banana flowers. So as I was going through my jars and organizing, any ones that were just like smaller, little, or not full, I put into the nature offering. And it smells amazing. And it looks beautiful. And that's really all that matters, you know, because all of the magical intentions are already there. This isn't made for any magical intention. It's not like I asked orange to do anything or I asked barley to do anything. That's not it. I put everything together and then I held my intent over it as a whole to be a nature offering. And that's it. So, you guys, I'll probably rename this video because it wasn't very much of Otis. But it was really good to see you, and if anybody has any comments, please do comment. I'm going to say hi to some folks before I go. The drier they get, the salt will flake off easily. Okay, great, Raven Song from the Dark Pool. Hey everybody, Jen, hope you are keeping well. I am keeping well, thank you, mate. Nicole's natural path. You look beautiful. I had to jump in and say hi, gorgeous. Well, thank you. You're so sweet. Aren't you so sweet? They look beautiful. Jennifer Otis, your spoons are awesome. Yeah, March, I love these spoons. Brenda, thank you. Allie, thank you. Kiss, kiss, tie. We'll see you guys soon. Sooner than you think. All right. Bye. Goodbye, my love.